beautiful purple, almost blue, blue paint job, which is gorgeous. So it's a retractable gear airplane, and so we want to make sure that there is nothing in that wheel well that would prevent the gear from coming up, so that we don't break the gear system. We got above 6 quarts of oil. We want to make sure that we have at least 6 quarts of oil for this flight so that our constant speed prop system works. This is a IO360, so it's fuel injected, so you get to learn about hot starting fuel injected airplanes, and it's 360 cubic inches, so you get that slightly larger engine. It is 180 horsepower, so you get that slight bump in performance that helps offset the extra weight from the gear system. So all in all, it's just about a step up from the Warrior. It's a pretty nice little airplane. These are our anti-starling devices, which help prevent starlings from making nests in our engines. A spinner is round instead of pointy, like most general aviation spinners, and that's because in here we have some things for our constant speed propeller system, which then change the blade angle on this propeller so that it's more efficient at all phases of flight. And then our lowest point of the fuel system is also blue. One of the most important things we do on the pre-flight is we check this trim bolt to make sure that it is there. It has safety wire in it, and that there's nothing obviously wrong with that, and that it is there. Left ailerons up, right ailerons down, opposite direction. Left ailerons down, right ailerons up, like those are exactly correct. Our pre-takeoff checklist, flaps are at 0. We could do 25 if we wanted to do a short field takeoff, which gives us that shorter ground roll and shorter climb to 50 feet so that we can clear those obstacles. Our prop is high RPM, our mixture is coming full rich for takeoff. Our fuel pump is on, our landing light is on, our strobe light is on, and we can start with the emergency takeoff briefing. So, in the event we encounter an abnormality or engine fails prior to rotation, we're pulling this throttle to idle, we're maintaining directional control, we're applying brakes and getting off the runway if we have the energy to do so. If it happens above VR with gear still down and runway remaining, we're landing on the runway. If it happens with gear up and no remaining runway, we're making an immediate right-hand turn and putting it in the grass. And then if it happens above 1,000 feet, we're going to circle back and land either 1-6, or if we can make the grass, if that's what we can make, we'll make the grass. If it happens in flight, we will pick an airport or a suitable landing site / road that is below us and to land there. Any questions?
No ma'am, great briefing, thank you.
Alrighty, we are clear left, clear center, clear right. There is no traffic opposite direction on final base or downwind. Brakes are releasing, and I will make a radio call. Creve Coeur traffic, Aero 3724 Tango is taking off runway 34, will be a northwest departure, Creve Coeur traffic. I again do not see any traffic.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into aviation, and how long have you been flying?
I actually got into aviation somewhat by accident. I've always wanted to be a pilot since I was very young, but I had a conversation with my best friend's grandparents, and they told me about a discovery flight. And about 2 months later, I ended up taking a discovery flight, and since then, I mean, the rest is history. I started seriously flying in August of 2022, right after I graduated high school. And got my private instrument commercials, flight instructor certificate, CFII, and multi. I would like to continue flight instructing for the rest of my life. It would be nice to get some jet experience, be that at an airline or a 135, but ultimately I like teaching, and I kind of want to start my own flight school somewhere if I ever move, and I absolutely love being in an airplane, being able to teach people to fly, and seeing that spark, that moment where something clicks and they now understand. For general aviation airplanes, it's about middle of the road. We get 120 knots of cruise. We can get a little bit more. It burns fuel pretty expeditiously. We're burning about 10 to 12 gallons an hour. I've seen as low as 8 gallons an hour. So you get that 120 knot performance. You can shoot approaches at a little bit of a faster speed for instrument training. So you can fly those Category B approaches, which is good because it teaches you that you have to be ahead of the airplane. It's very good for trips. So if you want to do 200, 400 nautical mile cross country, this is a really good plane for that. Because 120 knots, you're not exactly going slow. With the weight allowance of this airplane, you can have full fuel and you can have a couple passengers and some baggage. So in this airplane, our COM1 and our NAV1 unit is a Garmin 430. It is a WASP unit, so we do have LPV capabilities for instrument. We can do ILS, localizer approaches, RNAVs, including LPV and LNAV approaches. So we get that full range of capabilities. We have our primary communication. We're currently talking to St. Louis Approach on 126.5, and then we've got Creve Coeur CTAP 122.8. So we can switch between the two of these very nicely. Additionally, we have our VOR receiver / ILS receiver right here, and again, we have 2 units there. They have RNAV approaches. It does have radar. It gives us our coordinates. It has avgas and jet fuel. It can give us some flight planning information. Nearest airports. So this is extremely helpful, especially if you're having to deal with diversion. It tells you where those airports are, what their bearing is from you, their distance.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that nearest airport feature. That's great.
One of the things Gateway does best of teaching beyond the test and teaching actual practical skills. This plane specifically, this avionics stack, is extremely good at teaching you the scan because we have a 6-pack instrument, but we also have newer technology, so you're getting the best of both worlds in this plane.